Hi, my name is Antan. I'm from the United States and I live mostly in Michigan and in Chicago, but right now I'm living in Cainta and Rizal in the Philippines.
Hi everyone, my name is Mimi Felicia. Taga Nigeria po ako, pero dito po ako nakatira sa Rizal, Philippines.
Hey guys, Mishi here. I haven't seen you guys in so long. I am Korean and I'm living in the Philippines. I've been here for 15 years and I'm currently in Manila.
Hi guys, welcome. My name is Ruth. I'm a Nigerian and currently I am living in the Philippines.
Hi there, my name is Lisa Mariano. I live in Pasig City. I've been in the Philippines for about 16 years total, and I'm from the United States of America originally.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Al and welcome to our planet. As you know, there are a good number of foreigners living in our country. However, it is without a doubt that during election season, the voices of these foreigners aren't necessarily the ones that are heard the most. While it's very important to listen to our fellow Filipinos first, it would be nice to hear the thoughts of our foreign friends who actually live in the country as well. But before we start, are our foreign friends aware of the upcoming presidential elections and its candidates?
Of course I knew about it because you can't live in the Philippines and not know there's an election coming up, diba? Like the posters everywhere. I am being introduced to like the parades around neighborhoods. Like suddenly like I'm in a call and then I hear a huge long train of like noises. So I definitely know it's election season. I'm always so shocked to know how many candidates there are here. In the US, normally there's just like two major candidates, maybe a third party, but 10 candidates? Oh my, grabe. And for the naming of candidates, I can only name 3. I know there's so many more. It would be Leni, Manny Pacquiao, tapos BBM.
Yes po, aware po ako. We have Bongbong Marcos, Leni Robredo, Isko Moreno, Lacson, Leody de Guzman, Manny Pacquiao, and many others.
Yes, I do. I think it's called Halalan. It's on May 9. Yes, I am very aware. Some of them are obviously Leni Robredo, Bongbong Marcos, Isko Moreno, Lacson, Leody de Guzman, and was it Manny Pacquiao, Jose Montemayor. There are the other candidates. I don't know the names, but yes, I am aware of the 10 candidates.
Yes, I did. And it's really good news because I told you I've been here for a very long time. And this is the first election that I can remember hearing so much buzz, folks being very passionate, and so many colors being represented everywhere I go at rallies. This stuff has happened in the past, but I have never been exposed to the level of passion and care by the local communities in the past elections than I have this time, which tells me that folks really care more than ever about who's going to be leading the country. I do know probably most of the top running candidates. I think Leni, of course, Marcos for sure, the Manila mayor, I just forgot his name, and Manny Pacquiao, of course, are all running.
If you were given the opportunity to meet the next president of the Philippines, what concerns or requests would you raise as a foreigner living here?
If I could talk to the next president or raise an issue as a foreigner, I would say the Philippines would grow and be so much more economically stable if the Wi-Fi was stable. Talaga. Because those with like online jobs right now, it's hard for them if they have to go to the office or if they have to be in a place where there's stable Wi-Fi and they can't, be with their families maybe where the cost of living is lower. And I think it would benefit. It will be like a co-benefiting relationship between the two, foreigners and Filipinos alike. Another thing I noticed a huge difference is food is expensive here. When I was telling that to Filipinos or my American friends, they didn't believe me, and I didn't believe until I moved here. When I was a visitor, I didn't really notice it. But then when I'm starting to buy groceries regularly, things are pretty pricey, like, even vegetables sometimes. So I think if there's an easier and cheaper way to maybe transport food from, Baguio or somewhere else. Number 3 will be the traffic situation. It's very difficult to commute, and I don't know if there's enough solutions for that. I think COVID was a good indicator that people can work from home, so maybe we don't need to commute as much. But when necessary, it really puts a strain on your body and your mental health. It just takes your energy, diba? You're in the sun, you're sweating, you just feel disgusting for so long until you get to your location. Another one would be like an appropriate response to COVID, especially for education, because I'm an online teacher, and then I also witnessed my brother-in-law be in school too online. And I'm just so worried about the education because a lot of his classmates have already dropped out and it's really hard to get high quality education online. So I hope that there's some kind of plan, some kind of focus on really making sure the students have a budget and have a good plan on getting back on track so that our students are a priority, because definitely the kids and the young people are the future of the nation. So we really need to cultivate that and make sure that they have a great start and that they don't fall behind.
If I were to talk to the next president of the Philippines, ang sasabihin ko, sana mabigyan ng mas marami pang trabaho yung mga foreigner dito. Siyempre, yung mga Pilipino din, siyempre gusto ko na maganda yung economy ng country para enough din for the foreigners to get jobs. Kasi maraming OFW, maraming Filipinos na nakahanap ng trabaho sa ibang bansa. Even in Nigeria, a lot of Filipinos get work there. The second one is, I would ask for them to make the citizenship way easier for foreigners to get, especially foreigners who consider the Philippines na parang bahay na nila or parang it's their home na talaga, na sana maging madali yun. And kasi ngayon, I think kailangan pinanganak ka dito or adopted ka or something, and it's still a hard process compared to Singapore or other American or Asian countries where it's way easier to get citizenship maybe after 2 years or 4 years residency, but here it's really hard. Pero sana yung mga may pusong Pinoy na at yung mga talagang their whole life is based here in the country.
Number one, which is the most challenging one, not being able to work as a student in the Philippines. If you are a student, you are not allowed to work with a student visa. This can be so challenging because even though you are staring at a job and the job is staring at you, they will tell you plainly you cannot apply for this job because you have a student visa. For you to be able to do this, you need to convert to a working visa. I've been fortunate to get a job. I would say fortunate because I actually got the job. They interviewed me, I started training with them, but in the process of them requesting me to submit my documents, they found out that I was using a student visa and immediately I was dropped. They asked me if actually I want to continue with that job, that I need to convert my student visa to a working visa. But how can I convert my student visa to a working visa when I know I am still pursuing my education here in the Philippines? Number two, yearly extension of our student visa. It is really not easy. We that go through this process every year. For example, someone wants to take up nursing, which is 4 years course. I feel they should be given the visa for the duration of their study. It shouldn't be a yearly thing, and it can disturb your mental health. What about the money involved? Every year we keep paying huge amount of money just to get this visa extended. Then the last point would be not being able to own business or properties here as a foreigner. The processes involved for you to get it as a foreigner in the Philippines, it is so hectic. You cannot even get it. They will tell you, you get a Filipino or a Filipina. If the money is there, I have the money to get this in the Philippines as a foreigner, I should be given opportunity to get that, especially if the foreigner have spent some years here in the Philippines.
One of the biggest questions that I would have is, what would you do for the police officers of the Philippines? And I say that because I think these heroes are not only the foundation of safety within the Philippines, but they're also at the core of decisions around minimizing or eliminating corruption as well. These guys need a decent salary. They need to be able to support their wives, their husbands, their families. You know, he or she should be able to be a middle-class citizen in society, especially with all of the risks that they take every single day. Second one for me would be, I know that there's a lot of back and forth going around right now after pandemic on what work at home looks like in the Philippines. My question would be, do you support work at home capabilities to continue? Or do you think that there should be these restrictions and penalties for companies with higher percentage of work at home? And what's happened during the pandemic is that these companies deployed work at home solutions for Filipino employees, and it was successful. The quality didn't drop, the productivity didn't drop, the infrastructure was able to handle everything. And for me, what that does, it opens up the doors for even more jobs to the Philippines. It also, for the people, most importantly, it promotes a work-life balance, probably 10 to 20% savings that they would pay on transportation. The travel that some of the employees take in the Philippines to get through traffic and to come from different areas to get get to work, it can be 2 to 4 hours per day. Traffic is horrendous here. I think that's no surprise and everybody knows that. But if you continue to allow to work at home where it's possible and applicable, the overall mathematical impact to the reduction of traffic, from my perspective, is just huge.
As a person who's been living in the Philippines for 15 years, I've experienced a lot of systematic problems. Like, at least for me, usually the technicalities come during visa. Right now, I have a retirement visa under my parents. If you are a college student, like I am, the visa is handled by the school. But sometimes the processes can get very messy and it can get very delayed. What my brother experienced 2014 is that he wasn't allowed to fly out of the country because he didn't notify the Philippines that he was leaving the country a month before. This was when he was supposed to go to the military. So it was a very hassle process. Sometimes it's very unclear also. Comparing it to Korea, where the process is very quick. Also, as a foreigner, it's really hard to get a license because I have a student's license, which is not honestly the best way to survive in the Philippines because you do need a license. Since I've been here in the Philippines, everyone's trying to solve the problem with transportation. I don't know if it's ever going to be as good as Korea is because of how convenient it is and honestly how safe it is. The MRT breaks down multiple times that I've been in the train when the MRT broke down. And honestly, it's really scary. And this current administration has been trying, at least improve transportation as much as they can. I completely understand that. Sana they address it then. I know that our income tax is way higher than the Filipino citizens, and I completely understand that we're earning money here for a reason. We're competing on the same level. I don't face a lot of problems as a foreigner, legally speaking. It's more social problem-wise, and that's something that I don't know if the government can change. It's the people who need to change in that point.